Okay. Good afternoon, students. Are you hearing my voice? Are you hearing my voice? Is it clear? Anybody can respond. Anybody. If is it clear, I will proceed.
సార్ వాయిస్ స్లోగా వస్తుంది సార్.
వాయిస్ ఇప్పుడు ఎలా ఉంది?
వినిపించటం లేదు సార్.
వాయిస్ ఎలా ఉన్నది ఇప్పుడు? ఓకేనా?
ఓకే సార్.
Right. Can I start now? Okay. Good afternoon once again. In the concept of culture through the ages, in our first module, we completed the majority of the aspects. Among them, yesterday we complete the various cultural developments or a cultural changes during the Mughal period. Okay, within this cultural through the ages, we have one more content to be complete, that the cultural change during the modern times, modern India. Okay, so when you see the various components among the culture, you are already aware that various components you know, like the society, religion, art and architecture, dress style, food habits, science and technology. Likewise, each and everything which is comes under the culture of a society. Okay, in our last class, we completed various things regarding the society of the Mughal. When you see the society in modern India, Indian context, the same society is continued in modern times also. Modern times in the sense during the colonial period. Colonial period in the sense it's the period of the European rule. Okay, so you are well aware that the European rule started in India officially from 1757 onwards, which is started initially in Bengal territories, later which totally applicable to the all territories of Indian subcontinent. So the existing culture having certain changes. Okay, certain changes has taken place. Okay, it means the European culture in the sense the Western culture influence clearly on the Indian existing culture. India already had certain composite culture because in the medieval times a new and a outside culture already which influenced the Indian existing society. It's nothing but Hindu society, and there is a mixed culture continuing on the mixed or a composite culture. A new culture from the European territories also influenced the Indian existing culture in modern times. Okay, so when you see the generally, India was home to many invasions, and thus it only added to the present variety. Today, India stands as a powerful and multicultural society, as it has observed many cultures and moved on. People here have followed various religions, traditions, and customs. Although people are turning modern today, hold on to the moral values and celebrates the festivals according to the customs. So we are still living and learning epic lessons from Ramayana and Mahabharata. Okay, so learning of the traditions within the existing religions also we following still today. Okay, during the lockdown period, you are well aware that the Indian government officially telecast the Mahabharata and Ramayana on television, which you are well aware. Okay, so you may observe also, right? And in the same way, in Islamic culture, they are still following a certain religious aspects and customs in the Islam also. Okay, so they regularly follows the Quran, a holy book. Okay, they namaz five times a day regularly. Okay, these are a certain religious aspects within the Indian culture which still we are following. Okay, so also people still throng in the sense the visiting or daily visiting these gurudwara temples, churches, and mosques also. Okay, regularly they visit. The modern tradition and culture is full of complexities and complication. The Indian culture evolves from various arms of society like its ethnicity, religion, caste and language, marriage, region, and even environmental conditions. It is the amalgamation of all of many cultures, yet it maintains its own distinct identity. Despite its image as a culturally diverse land, contemporary or modern India, is in fact a nation state in conflict with its own people. It is engaged in process of development that, far from enriching the lives of its myriad indigenous cultures, threatens them with disruption, domination, and destruction. Okay, so we are following the culture, the existing culture since the ancient times onwards, without or with the along the hurdles also. Any hurdles or any problems we face, still we are following the Indian culture. It's continuing from generation to generation. We also giving generation to generation. Okay, so when you see the caste system in modern Indian society, the caste system has its regional variations. Okay, so the original caste system in India having certain variations. Among the certain variations, you also find the regional variations. Okay, you cannot see these variations within one region to another. Okay, you can clearly observe these variations from southern India to north and the west to east. Okay, there is a regional variations, and the same community or the same caste having the same, we cannot see the same status in various territories. Okay, so tribe status in Andhra and Telangana not be a tribe in other states. Okay, so like the Banjaras who are the tribe status in India, in Telangana and Andhra, the same status we cannot observe in the Karnataka and Maharashtra. Okay, so in Karnataka they are comes under other status like SCs, and in Maharashtra OBC. Likewise, we cannot you see certain regional variations in the caste system. Okay, so the number of caste, subcaste, as well as that of Gotra kept increasing from medieval times onwards. Okay, the caste system, which is in rigid form, which is still continuing, and you observe the rigidity in the modern times clearly. In modern times, the caste system acquired some new features. Thus, the idea of surnames was also added. One particular caste or subcaste came to acquire one and sometimes more surnames. Okay, so it is usually you observe. The Sikhs could not overcome the caste feelings. Okay, so by observing all as a Sikh from the outside, it looks like a single community or a single religion. When you see yet very deep or by a thorough concentration, you observe various deviations or various differences within the Sikhism, right? So within the Sikhism also you find certain variations and certain feelings of a particular caste or community. Okay, even the Muslim form caste groups. Okay, so you observe the various groups in the Muslim community. Okay, so like Sunnis, Shias, and Sheikhs. Okay, yesterday we already gone through this Muslim society which is existed in the Mughal period. Okay, so likewise the same things are followed within the Islamic society also. Okay, so within the Christianity, okay, Christianity is a important religion, a new religion entered in India through the European rulers. Okay, so the Christianity having a certain status later days, but the initial days, the Christianity followed only, or a Christianity confined to only a few section of the class. Okay, few sections of the society. Okay, so only the poor people in the society as attracted towards the Christianity. Okay, so among the Christianity also you see various deviations or differences. In India, you find certain divisions in the Christianity, like the Syrian Christians, which you commonly observe within the Kerala, and the Protestants. Among the Protestants, you also find the various sub groups also, like Pentecost, Methodist. Okay, so likewise, there is another important division you find in the Christianity is the Roman Catholicism. Okay, so likewise you find the various deviations and different groups within the Christianity also. Okay, so the Christian converts brought their caste prejudice with them, and high caste converts consider themselves aloof from those of the lower orders. Okay, so when you observe the various deviations in the Christian groups in India, so who observed, who attracted, who follows, who takes the Christianity from higher classes, having the higher status. They are maintaining higher status among the Christianity also. Okay, so they are living aloof, and they are keeping aside the lower Christians. Okay, so this is a common phenomena within the Indian society. You clearly observe in the modern Indian society. Okay, socially there was no unity of pattern in the social and cultural life of the people, whether they were Hindus or Muslims. There was division among them on the basis of region, tribe, language, and the caste. Okay, caste rules were to be observed in matters of marriage, diet, interdining, as well as in choosing a profession. Anyone found disobeying a rule was most likely to be thrown out of the community. Okay, so within the community, or you find various dialects, various caste or community class in the Indian context. Uh, you observe clearly the same context in Indian context. Okay, so these these within the Indian society having certain traditions, customs which observed by each and every community or subcaste or a group in Indian society. Okay, so the caste or community having the own their traditions or customs, they are living away from the other community or caste. Okay, they are not not trying to mingle with the other. Okay, they are living isolated with the other communities, or they are isolated with the main stream of the society. Okay, so you clearly find this type of groups in Indian society, like many primitive tribal groups who still living away from the mainstream of the society, because they are following their own form of traditions and customs. You clearly observe within the contemporary period also. Okay, so after that, education. Education also important component among the culture. When you see the education in modern India, the first half of the 19th century can be called a period of educational experiments. The East India Company Charter Act of 1833 enabled the company to set aside 1 lakh rupees to development of education in India. Okay, you are well aware that. So company already issued a 1 lakh of rupee to development of educational development in India. So then onwards, there is certain development has taken place in Indian education policy. Okay. So according to the Macaulay's minutes and the Bentinck's resolution of 1835, and was decided that to promote European literature and sciences, William Bentinck adopted English as the official language of the government. Okay. So from the 1835 onwards, English became a important mode or medium of instruction, which clearly following from 1835 onwards, which is a important thing which followed by William Bentinck on the on the suggestions or on the certain representation of various social reforms at that time. Okay, so mainly Raja Ram Mohan Rai was a great pioneer in Indian social renaissance. He was he aim was to see the English as a great or a medium of instruction in India. So the same the William Bentinck has followed. Okay. So Lord Hardinge in 1844 decided to grant employment to Indians who had received English education. Okay. So in East India Company, provided certain jobs to or employment opportunities to the Indians who knows the English. Okay, so the Woods Dispatch of 1854 suggested that universities should be set up in Bombay, Madras, and Calcutta. It emphasized the development of private enterprise, a system of grants in aid, training teachers in the schools, women's education, so on. In 1857, the universities of Bombay, Madras, Calcutta were established. The universities of Punjab and Allahabad were established in 1882 and 87 respectively. Okay, so according to the Woods Dispatch, there is a development, educational development in the higher level. Okay, so higher education has reformed according to the Woods Dispatch, and in 1857, Indian territories, the university system has started mainly at Bombay, Madras, and Kolkata. there is a one each university has started. The impact of English education was not even. Okay, so it is not even. Okay, it not same in all places, right? So literary and education were more widespread in towns than the villages. Okay, the English education not entered in Indian villages. It's only confined to the towns and cities. The positive aspect was that it produced a breed of educated political leaders and social reforms who played important role in the freedom struggle of the country. The publication of newspapers, pamphlets brought about an awakening among the masses. Okay, by learning or knowing English education, people were well aware about the things which are happened in the world at that time. Okay, so I will see again the what are the impact of the education in modern India. Okay, impact of Western education particularly. So the British encouraged the teaching of English language in schools and colleges as they needed people to work in administrative offices, either as a clerks or babus or you are well aware that the translators called as the dubasis. Okay, so this helped in creating a new class of people who later helped them in the governance as well as in the controlling many aspects of administration in India. Okay, so we already discussed that those who know the English education. Okay, so those are having or they get certain employment opportunities in the East India Company, and they getting a suitable or a certain income to live. Okay, so education, through the education they are getting livelihood. Okay, so within the knowing of this education, some people who are knowing the various things which are happened at the time in the world, and they turned into a intellectual class. Okay, so the intellectual class only coming from the English knowing sections. Okay, so the English knowing sections who got the employment is turned into a new section in the Indian society, is nothing but the educated middle class. Okay, so from this educated middle class, there is a intellectuality has started, and many Indian intellectuals were coming from the educated middle class. Educated middle class is an important class which is emerged within the modern Indian society. Okay, so people living in different parts of India spoke different languages, and there was no language that could be understood by all. Okay, so we in modern times we don't find any a common language which known by every citizen in all over the Indian country. Okay, so the common medium of instruction you never find until the English made as a medium of instruction. Okay, so India has many languages. Okay, nearly 3,000 dialects you find, 250 languages you find within India. So among these Indian languages, no language is a common to all. Okay, so if any language is common to all, no need of English in medium English as a medium of instruction. Okay, so no Indian language is a common to all. That's why English made as a medium of instruction, so that everyone can know the things by all over the Indian society. Okay, geographically, India is a vast country and having various regions and territories, so that every one in every citizen within Indian society, they are not aware of the whole Indian subcontinental languages. Okay, and English books and newspapers brought to them new ideas from across the sea, that is all over the world, other countries. Okay, so fresh ideas from the West like freedom, democracy, equality, and brotherhood began to have its impact on the thinking. Okay, so their rationalistic thinking has started with the knowing the English. Okay, so this is the impact of Indian education. Okay, so English, the Western education. Okay, so after education, the science and technology also important component among the Indian culture. Okay, so when you see the when you see about the science and technology in modern India. So within colonial period, you didn't find a much development, but after the Indian independence, there is there is a gradual development in science and technology in Indian context. Okay, so during the colonial period, there is a introduction of various crops, basically cash crops who introduced in India. Cash crops grown only for the market purpose. They never consume the cash crops. And to growing the cash crops, which they use the manures and insecticides and pesticides they use. And while cultivating, they followed various modern equipment by like a machinery to cultivate the land, to harvest the grain. Okay, so during the colonial period and to grow the crops, they used a certain water facilities by constructing various reservoirs and dams and constructing various canals also. Okay, so this is also comes under the science and technology, which mainly used in the agriculture. Okay, so when you see the industry, you are well aware that in 1907 onwards, only there is a establishment of iron and steel industry in India. Okay, so Tata Steel, which is started in 1907. Okay, and in before the 19th century, you find various cotton textiles within territories of Bengal, East Bengal mainly, and around Bihar also. Okay, so there is a certain development in industry also. So within the industry, there is a use of science and technological objects to produce, to get the high production. Okay, so apart from this, in 1971, the Department of Science and Technology was set up to promote new ideas of science and technology. Okay, similarly, State Council of Science and Technology have been established at the state levels. Okay, so when you see the nuclear energy, India aimed to utilize nuclear energy for peaceful purposes during the last 63 years since the establishment of Atomic Energy Commission in 1948. India has made significant progress in the field of nuclear technology. In 1957, the Baba Bark Atomic Research Center has established at Trombay. Okay, later many atomic nuclear reactors in various places are nearly 9 places are established. Okay, when you see the space technology, the Indian space program is directed towards the goal of self-reliance in the use of space technology for national development. Over the years, the space program has established itself with succession of achievements. They include the launching of the first space satellite Aryabhatta in 1975, and then Bhaskara 1, Bhaskara 2 from the Soviet Union, the Rohini satellite on India's own SLV-3 rocket. Okay, so when you see the electronics, since independence, India has acquired the capability to produce a wide variety of electronic goods such as radio and television sets, communication systems, broadcasting equipment, radars, nuclear reactors, power control systems, and underwater systems. A very large part of components required for these are the produced indigenously. Okay, so in electronics also, various electronic organizations also started set up in India, India from modern times onwards, during the colonial time onwards. Okay, so we have medical and health sciences. In the field of medical, there have been many achievements, major advances have been made in preventing and treating various diseases. Okay, so when you see the ocean development, India has many interests in the field of ocean development, such as exploration of offshore oil, fishery resources, increased food supplies. Okay, when you see the ocean development, which is starts from the Portuguese onwards. Okay, so Albuquerque, Almeida, who followed the blue water policy, then onwards, there is a certain boundaries on the seas also started. Okay, so and the setup of the various industrial settlements also, which started in the sea coast on both western, east, and southern coast of India. Okay, So when you see the agriculture, ICAR has been playing a key role in scientific production, education of farmers as well as other engaged in the different sectors of agriculture, animal husbandry, fisheries, and forest. Okay, among the agriculture also, there is a research center has started in Pusa in Bihar, which is during the period of colonial rule onwards. Okay, so these are certain educational developments, sorry, these are certain science and technological developments started during modern India. Okay, so when you see the art and architecture in modern India, the colonial influence can be seen in office buildings. Europeans who started coming from 16th century AD, constructed many churches and other buildings. Portuguese built many churches at Goa. Okay, you are well aware that Portuguese were which constructed their churches, which is from within the period of the Vijayanagara rulers onwards. Okay, during the Devaraya period, many one or two churches has established near Goa. Then onwards, the establishment of churches, construction of churches has started. Okay, so the British also built administrative and residential buildings which reflect their imperial glory. Some Greek and Romanian influence can be observed in the pillared buildings. Okay, Parliament House and Karnaghat Palace in Delhi are good examples of this model. Okay, the architect Lutyens designed Rashtrapati Bhavan, formerly the Viceroy residences. It is built of sandstone as design feature like the canopies and jali from Rajasthan. Okay, so Rashtrapati Bhavan, one of the important specimen construction during this colonial period. Okay, the Victoria Memorial in Calcutta, the former capital of British India, is huge, a great building which is constructed with the marble. It now houses a museum full of colonial artifacts. Okay, so Writers Building in Calcutta, where generations of government officers were worked in British times. It is still the administrative center for Bengal after independence also. The British also left behind impressive railway terminals like the Victoria terminus in Mumbai, present Mumbai. More contemporary styles of buildings are now in evidence. Chandigarh has buildings designed by the French architect Corbusier. In Delhi, the Austrian architect Stein designed the various buildings at Delhi. Okay, so these are certain art and architecture which followed during the modern. Okay, when you see the social and religious reforms, you are well aware that from the Brahma Samaj onwards, by the efforts of Rajamohan Rai, Raja Ram Mohan Rai, you find various important reformers emerge, and they are challenging the unnecessary traditions or rituals or any social levels in the society. Okay, so many social religious reform organizations are you are well aware, like Arya Samaj, Brahma Samaj, and Pradhana Samaj and Theosophical Society. When you see in the Islam, the Muslim Aligarh movement. Okay, so these are various important organizations you find during the medieval times. Okay, you see deeply or clearly within the last module of our syllabus. Okay, so Christian priests came to India along with the employees of East India Company to perform their religious rituals at the time of baptism, marriage, burials, and set service. But these priests soon started preaching Christianity to the non-Christian employees of the company as well. Slowly, they started opening schools that they were attended the Indian children, and all these are a missionary concept. Okay, the Christian missionaries entered in India and started constructing of churches and probating, preaching these teachings and converting the Indian natives to the Christianity. Okay, so these missionaries who also started the printing press and magazines and disseminating the Christian precepts and the literature. Okay, so along the Christian propaganda, English education was introduced, which had a great impact on the society and economy in India. So, purpose of introducing English education was fulfill British political and administrative needs. It opened the windows for the Indians to the West. Okay, so it's opened the influence of or the opportunity of natives to absorb the Western style of education or Western traditions or customs. Okay, so when you see the language and literature within the modern India, in 1798, lithography was invented. It used the special prepared surface of a stone for printing a script. Okay, before the invention of printing press, they followed this lithography. A picture, a drawing. A large number of copies of the same text could be printed in this way. From about 1820 onwards, hundreds of pamphlets and books were printed, which caught to the needs of the growing literature population of India. It was biggest boon which the West conferred on India. As a result, the end of the 19th century, the press had became the powerful tool for influencing public opinion. Okay, after invention of the printing press, there is a revolutionary brought a revolutionary change among the ideology of Indian natives. Okay, so this in turn encouraged a large number of writers to produce literature in different Indian languages. Their original works as well as translations and adaptations of old Indian and Western classics helped enrich our cultural heritage. Okay, this helped to bring out an awakening of the Indians. A whole new set of national literature in the form of novels, essays, poems played significant role in the generating nationalism. Bankim Chandra's Anandamath, Deenbandhu Mitra's Neel Darpan, Bharatendra Harishchandra's Bharat Darshan, and Lakshmikant Bajbura's works in Assami, and Subramanyam Bharati in Tamil, and Altaf Hussein's works in Urdu are you clearly observed within the modern times. Okay, so these are a certain various cultural developments has taken place within the modern India. Okay, this is end of the culture through the ages from ancient to the modern. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to see another concept in module 1, right? So this is about the culture through the ages. You have any doubts? We have 1 minute remaining. So you have any doubt or queries, you may ask. Okay, so you can unmute yourself, your videos and voice once, and you can ask me any doubt or query. Okay, we have only 1 minute time is remain. Anybody can ask, is it okay? Style of teaching is okay? Anything I have to modify? Okay, so anyone can respond. Other teachers are taking the classes or not? Anyone, Nagaraju, Nagendra Babu, Chinna Nagaya, Naresh, Srividya, Yadagiri, Suresh, anyone can respond. You can unmute yourself. Other teachers are taking the classes or not? Yadagiri? It may end up. Please respond.
Hello, sir.
Other teachers are taking the class or not?
Break.
వేరే టీచర్ తీసుకుంటున్నారా క్లాసెస్ తీసుకుంటున్నారా?